So there's been a few announcements. There was some last week. We just didn't talk about them.
Yeah.
It was the Fire Drakes.
Yes.
And the Corsairs of Umbar.
Yep.
And Leaf.
Yes. Life.
Yeah. Those guys.
Live life. Yes.
All the War of the Rohirrim characters that haven't had models yet, it's Leaf, Olwyn, Freylaf. Is that it? They're the main ones.
Well,
they're the ones that
technically
have
Hera.
Oh, God, yeah. They're the ones that have profiles that don't have models.
Yes.
Leaf is the one I would want the least.
Technically, yes, but if you look at the army that he's used in, he is a very good character.
Not according to Josty. Josty proxied him and he was like, it was crap. I'm not even going to buy the new model.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, we haven't played it, but I do look at that character and go, ooh, he brings something different that I think could actually be very useful.
I agree.
Annoyingly, off the top of my head, can't think of a single one.
No, but he's also not a very expensive character. So it's kind of like a buffs other things. Well, not Gríma. I was thinking more
not
like...
literally, but I mean like a low point, but something you kind of go, oh, yeah, I'm taking that. Then.
Yeah. We'll talk about Gríma in a minute.
Yes, we will.
One thing I noticed, this is a segue, and sorry. Everyone at that tournament called him Gríma.
I know.
What? Like, it's said multiple times in the movies. It's Gríma.
I know. It makes me wonder now if I went back to the Tolkien pronunciation.
Tolkien, not Tolkien.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, is it actually correctly said Gríma?
I'm going with Gríma.
Yeah, it's always Gríma to me as well, but yeah.
Which is funny because I'm adamant that Primarch is pronounced Primarch and not Primarch.
Wait, we're on about 40k or the shop?
The shop, sorry.
At a moment, I was like, wait. Yeah, no, that is true. Yeah, what other weird ones are there? Can't think of anything else.
Well, you don't pronounce sheet, do you? So if it's an I, it probably should be Gríma. But yeah, I don't know. The English language is weird.
It's like, well, what's the one? Like, if you said, primary. What's your primary objective? It's not your primary objective. Can't even say it. Primary.
We're getting way off topic.
Yeah.
So new models were announced. They were pretty cool. I heard some people complain about the Drakes. I actually like them.
I'm on the side of not. Like, they're very nice sculpts. My only thing is they're like war Drakes.
Yeah.
And they look a bit chubby to me. And for some reason in my head, I go, it just doesn't feel like that's going to be I don't know. I just have I think because of the proxies we've used, that's what I picture in my head now.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, but to me, a war Drake being chubby is correct because they're like eating things.
Yeah.
The more war they go to, the more remains they chew through, the chubbier they get.
Yeah. I think it's just a change from what I had in my head.
Yeah.
It's just getting used to it. Like, they're stunning on what they are.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they need to go on a diet.
Nah, I like it. It looks like this video is sponsored by Greg's, by the way. It's not.
It's sponsored by the Arena.
Yes, that's my friend. Okay. I don't have a great deal to say about those new models. I'm just happy that we're getting new stuff, and that's what it mainly comes down to.
Yeah. I mean,
all the comments, sorry to interrupt. All the comments pretty much are cool, but can we get the third book?
Yeah.
Can we get the match play guide? Can we get Freylaf? That was kind of my comment. And I get that. But I've seen some people like get really angry and aggressive about. What was the one comment? Someone kicking off that we didn't get new riders. Like, went absolutely nuts at Games Workshop, and I had to respond to it because I do that. And I was like, dude, like, we're getting new stuff fairly regularly for Middle-earth. Like, just be happy. They'll probably get to it eventually. I'm sure Warhammer replied and said something like working on it. So. Just chill, like, have some patience. I'm super impatient, so I get it, but I'm still appreciative of the new stuff coming out, you know?
Fair.
Have any further thoughts?
Well, what my thought was going to be is because we kind of discussed, it's from the tournament that, we'll get on to the tournament part again in a minute, but someone was using a proxy of a Mumuk. And it looked incredible.
Oh my God.
And they also showed us pictures of their proxy of a Balrog.
Yeah.
Which was insane. But the thing is, they'd scaled these up. So they were more like movie size comparisons.
Yeah.
And it kind of, like, we ended up talking about it anyway. It was going, well, how would GW do if they just re-sculpted some existing stuff rather than doing the new stuff? Like, would it sell? Because we were trying to think of an example of one they've done.
Yeah.
Like, you could say bulk, but that's the base.
Yeah.
Is the reason for that more than anything. So it's like, for example, if they did a new Balrog sculpt, would that actually be better for them than releasing like the War Drakes.
I think they probably will get round to updating stuff. I don't know how many things, but some of these models are like 25 years old.
I mean, the fact they've never done another Sauron, I think is nuts.
Yeah, well, that's probably the most needed one. A lot of people will disagree with that and say that old Sauron has charm and stuff. Like, no, we've got 2 Sauron proxies. They're both way better.
But you can't really get the Sauron one, can you?
I think you can.
It is. I thought it was one of those that just seemed to always be out of stock.
No, I think you can get it.
But yeah, it's just when you look at the detail on it for Sauron, you're just like, it needs an update.
Yeah.
And scale-wise would be nice. Like for the Balrog was one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you go on which version of it you want. The movie version, I guess, is technically too big for the lore version. And do they have wings? Do they not? Oh God, don't need to go down that route. But yeah, just seeing new stuff. I guess it depends on, do GW sell enough Balrogs now? They go, well, why do we spend the time and money making a new one when the one we've currently got is selling all the time anyway?
Yeah.
Or if we actually refresh it, will we get a massive influx of it? And is it worth the time and effort and doing a new sculpt even?
I'm quite 50-50 on it. Like, part of me is like, there's no way they'll bother releasing an updated sculpt for something that most players probably already have. Balrog's a prime example. But then I look at that and go, but they've put effort into doing Bolg, which is probably a character that a very small percentage of people actually care about.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, like you say, the Balrog is one of those that most people who get into the game at some point go, I got to do a Battlelock. Got to do it. And for most people who have done it, it could be years and years and years since they've done it. And if they go, oh, here's a new one that's better, and they go, oh, yes, I'm a way better painter than I was 5-10 years ago when I did it.
Yeah.
I got the chance to do it again on something that's new and looks awesome. And to be honest, even just the positioning of it, like in terms of not being in the, like not hitting other models and just
make it more upright.
Yeah, like that's the proxy when we saw it was a bit more up. So nothing really hit the base and everything was still looking cool. And that's the one, like with the whip, with the current one, that can be so annoying.
Yeah, it really can.
So yeah, I just feel like it wouldn't be a bad move.
I agree. Yeah. Do it, GW. I think at the end of the day, a lot of people that buy these models are into the hobby purely from a painting perspective anyway. Yeah. And some of the, like, look at Sigmar models. Some of the recent Sigmar models are incredible. Yeah. Not a fan of the game, but the models are great. So you put that sort of, sculpting, design, modern day type effort into a Balrog, it could be insane.
I mean, just look at Imrahil. Like, they're redoing Imrahil. Yeah. That's probably the big one that had slipped my mind at the time. And I mean, it's just personally, I'm like, yes, 100% want it. I don't care that.
Yeah.
I've got an Imrahil. I want that one.
I think we have a couple of Imrahils, actually.
Yeah. But straight away, I want that. And I feel like there would be a lot of that for multiple things.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me a top 3.
Top 3?
If they could re-sculpt 3.
I mean, I think we've probably mentioned the 2 first ones that I'd pick.
Balrog and Sauron?
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be my first 2.
Do we want a 10th Gandalf?
Well, that's a real tough question, actually.
It's usually the monsters, creatures. They're the ones that would almost benefit more. I guess you could see the generic, like, Riders of Rohan, obviously.
Yeah. Some of them are obvious. Maybe like a cave troll. I quite like the cave troll model, though.
Yeah.
So maybe not that. It's a really, really tough question, actually.
I mean, a Mumuk could be a cool one as well. But again, it's all the big creatures.
I never would have said Mumuk because I quite like it. It's quite a cool model. But then after seeing that one at the tournament, it was insane.
What you want them to do is almost do a slight variation, but comes with optional parts to it. So you could buy one. So they make one Mumuk box that could be made into 3 different versions with the different accessories like armor bits and different parts, different like howdah. Just something that means you could buy the same box and not go, I've really got to like kit bash this to make them all different, or I end up with 3 potentially that look exactly the same.
Who would want to use 3 Mumuks?
Hey, there's going to be a big battle out there. So when you do a Pelennor Fields battle, you need multiple Mumuks.
True. What do you have a top 3?
Balrog and Sauron definitely would be top 2, I think. I think Aragorn the King.
Yeah, I don't like that model.
Yeah, there's going to be something I'm not thinking of. But yeah, Aragorn the King deserves a better sculpt.
I agree with that.